Urgent, dog pound fan. Look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest dog pound news, and don't forget to turn on notifications. So, you don't miss anything. Browns predicted to land Deshaun Watson's replacement after blockbuster NFL draft trade. The Cleveland Browns are expected to use the number 2 overall pick in the NFL draft to choose between edge rusher Abdul Carter or the multi-talented Travis Hunter, but an analyst suggests a third path, one that could lead to a new franchise quarterback. Mason Cameron of Pro Football Focus predicted that the Browns would trade out of the number 2 overall spot, giving the Chicago Bears the chance to take Carter and gathering some major draft capital in the process. Cameron predicted that the Browns would use some of their newfound picks to trade back up to the end of the first round, taking Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart with the number 32 overall pick. Dart has been shooting up draft boards in recent weeks, and one look at his grading profile illustrates why, Cameron wrote. The Ole Miss standout ranked as the highest-graded passer in numerous metrics, including PFF passing grade against the blitz 93, 0 and on throws outside the numbers 91. 6. Dart could have the chance to compete for the starting job with Watson. Still recovering from a torn Achilles that he re-aggravated late last year, grabbing Dart with the final pick of the first round would also give the Browns greater flexibility on his future, allowing them to pick up a fifth-year option at the end of his rookie contract. The Browns would still have the chance to address other pressing needs under Cameron's hypothetical trade, with the team using the number 10 overall pick on Marshall edge rusher Mike Green. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest dog pound news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Analyst proposes wild draft day trade for Browns. The Cleveland Browns have a big decision coming up in this year's NFL draft. With the number 2 overall pick, they have an opportunity to select a blue-chip prospect that could be an instant upgrade to this team, someone who could help bring this team to the next level. Several prospects have been mentioned leading up to the draft, but it's currently unclear about what position they're targeting. The Browns are in a strong position to acquire a few solid players, as they have early round picks in the second and third rounds as well. Analyst Garrett Bush doesn't think they should wait until the second round, however, laying out a scenario where they could have 2 picks in the top 10. He mentioned that they could trade with the Carolina Panthers and move up to the 8th overall. Pick pairing Sheeter Sanders with Travis Hunter, who they would take at number 2 in this hypothetical situation. The Browns should make a play for Sanders-Hunter. The trade is workable. Browns take Hunter at pick 2. Traded with the Panthers at 8 to move back into the first round ahead of the Saints to take Shedeur. After the dust settles, Browns would still have a 3rd, 4th pick, Bush wrote. They would have to give up their 2nd, 3rd, and 2 6th-round picks to make this work, which would be more than fair compensation to acquire an interesting quarterback prospect. The jury might be out on whether Sanders is going to make it big in the league, but Bush believes he's worth a shot, especially if the Browns don't have to take him with the number 2 overall pick. Adding an athletic phenom like Hunter could be a game-changer for this team, especially if he plays wide receiver in the NFL, having a built-in rapport with his quarterback from college. Browns urged to sign one available free agent to Cleveland. Browns entered the offseason with a big need for a starting-caliber running back. Nick Chubb didn't have a good season when he was healthy, and given his age and history of injuries, the running back position remains a question mark. However, since Chubb has yet to sign with another team and doesn't seem to have any suitors, the Browns should bring him back. At least that's how Christopher Knox of Bleacher Report feels. In his latest column, he made a case for the Browns to bring back the Georgia product. Injuries have cost Chubb most of the past 2 seasons, but he's a fan favorite and has been the face of the Browns offense when healthy. With no other team targeting Chubb through nearly a month of free agency, the Browns may have a chance to resign him at a team-friendly price, Knox said. Chubb might never return to his all-pro caliber form, but there's no reason to believe he can't have a role on this team. He's familiar with the offense, and he might still have more than enough juice in his legs to make an impact. Maybe expecting him to be an every-down kind of back at this point in his career is not realistic, but since the Browns will still most likely draft a running back, they could keep Chubb there as a mentor and a change-of-pace back. Chubb has earned his stripes within the organization. He's a pillar of the community, and he almost literally put the team on his shoulders for years. There was a case to be made for the Browns to let him walk if his price tag went up. Unfortunately for him, that hasn't been the case at all, and it seems like he might even go unsigned if the Browns don't bring him back. Stat highlights a glaring concern Browns must fix. In 2025, even though he's had mixed results in charge of the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski has been a good head coach. However, if there's one thing that has set the team back over and over, it's penalties, perhaps even more than poor quarterback play. That was evident in a post shared by the 33rd team on X. Per the post, the Browns had the most offensive penalties in the entire league, 76 last season. Notably, this has been a recurring issue during the Kevin Stefanski era. They also led the league in pre-snap penalties during the 2023 season, and they logged the most penalized yards, 989 in 2022, which was the 5th highest mark in the league. That's a coaching-related issue, and that's something that Stefanski and his staff will have to put an emphasis on next season. You can't win football games when you're constantly going backward. Pre-snap penalties are the absolute worst kind of penalty, as you're not even giving the team an opportunity to advance and are constantly facing long yardage situations. The Browns' offense has been an issue for years now. Kevin Stefanski will reportedly have more control and a bigger input in the offense than he's ever had in the past, and while that will most likely be a positive thing, it will mean little unless he can make sure his team is much more disciplined going forward. And now, Dog Pound fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot. For Dog Pound, I'll be back any moment with more Dog Pound news. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof!